Hi friends, welcome back to the journey, and we're so excited you are here for Travel Talk Tuesday. We are finally home from our 3-day getaway, and we want to share all of our ventures with you today. So let's get into it. So, what do you think of our adventure? What do we want to share?
What do we want to share? Well, it was fun. I had fun.
Yeah.
It was a simple, just a 3-day, couple hours away, getaway, just something nice and relaxing, and yeah, just a slower pace for a few days, just to get away from, our four walls here, and just to see something new.
I know it's been kind of like a busy month, so it was definitely like a well due time, like
Well
trip.
deserved.
Yeah. To go out and, explore. And I don't know, one of the things I talk about on our Instagram is, Michigan, like ever since we moved to Michigan, one of our favorite things about Michigan is just how, like, the outside is so beautiful, like during the fall, like you have the beautiful colors, and right now we're in spring, so like everything's turning green and it's starting to look like spring and a little bit of summer, and then we're also getting some nice weather instead of that really, really cold weather. So yeah, I mean, like, we're also the type of people, as a family, when we do road trips, we kind of like to do, like, we look at billboards and stuff, and we will go, like, off the road and go try something new. Yeah. So, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, kind of fun getaway, and see it's beginning of spring, so starting to see the leaves come back on the trees, and flowers are starting to bloom and stuff. So it's just nice to get away. Animals are back out of the barns for the winter and stuff.
And they got their babies.
Yes, they have babies. You can see the babies everywhere. So yeah, it's kind of nice, just relaxing. It's one of the things I like most about road trips, just that it's relaxing.
Yeah. And I really liked our hotel that we stayed in. I know we personally as a family like our Town Place Suites, just because it comes equipped with everything. I know we've done longer road trips, we've done a longer span of time, and so we like having that kitchen and stuff. And like if we go out to eat, we can bring it back and heat it up rather than having to go downstairs.
Yes.
And stuff. So that was really, really nice as well. But our big thing that we did during our getaway was we went to Shipshewana, Indiana. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Shipshewana. Say that 3 times fast.
Right. But I know that, like, you have a little bit of history with your family on that. So do you want to kind of share that with us a little bit?
Well, I mean, kind of. I remember going to Shipshewana one time as a child, with my grandparents. It's someplace that my grandparents like to go to, that my mom liked to go to. Just Amish country and such. My grandparents used to like to go and look at the furniture, and just to see the handcrafted the furniture made by the Amish. It's different than what we would get at like the big box stores, the Gardner Whites, IKEA, something like that. It's just, it's nice to see the handcrafted sturdy furniture, and so they used to like to go for that. And then it's just relaxing, and the mercantile, and the little shops and stuff, and just everything is or a lot of things are handcrafted, local artisan foods, things like that. So just different.
Do you remember it from when you, like, if you had to compare it to when you were a kid, do you remember any of it, or was this kind of like something that was kind of, even though you went as a kid, it was still fun, new, and exciting?
It was, yeah, no, I kind of remember it, not a lot. For me, it was still kind of new and exciting, someplace different. But it was just nice to go and see what it was that my mom was always talking about.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's really nice. And I know once we got into, I don't know, for me, like, growing up in LA, basically, like, we're so used to, like, the city, and I mean, there's businesses everywhere. So, like, the idea of, the Amish culture, like, I remember growing up thinking that was just kind of like I don't know, not a real thing in most senses. And then when I moved to Michigan to start college and stuff, and we were traveling, like I learned, oh, these were at, like, this is a culture, like this is a community, and so it was really cool. And so when you go into Shipshewana, like the first immediate thing is you start seeing horses and buggies, like. So I think that was really, really cool as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, let's talk a little bit. I know you went and checked out the horse and buggy ride that you can do, and you did some research. So do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so they had right in the when you get into Shipshewana, there's a furniture store and a little downtown kind of area with some little shops and such, and then the Mercantile, Dave's Mercantile. Dave's Mercantile? Yeah, Dave's Mercantile. Davis Mercantile. There we go. And there was a little horse and buggy. It was an Amish family that has, a horse and buggy there, and they have little booths set up, and you can do, they had a couple of different rides you could do. You could do like a short, I think it was like a 15-minute ride, and they had a half-hour one, and they had a slightly larger, or slightly longer, I guess, a ride that kind of takes you around, and, they just give you a tour of the area and stuff. And something we thought about doing, we had Obi with us, so, and I wasn't quite sure how he would react with the horses. I did ask, and they did say that he could have gone. They allow, small animals, small dogs, that, that would be okay around the horses, that would be comfortable around the horses. I just wasn't completely sure how he would react. But definitely something that, when we go back, I want to do.
Yeah, so. No, I think that's something that I would like to do as well, just because, I don't know, it would be cool, because, like, from the little bit of research that I've done, like, they make these buggies. Like, they don't just, unless they're, like, buying them from, say, another Amish family, they make these buggies. And so it's just really cool, like, I don't know, like, wanting to see what it looks like inside and how, because that's how they also travel. Like, they don't travel by car, because rarely, and I want to be careful with that, because, like, it also depends upon the Amish community, the Amish family. Like, some Amish communities are very strict on, technology, and some of them are like, okay, they're okay with, say, driving, like, getting a ride with somebody. They're not going to personally drive the car, but they're going to, like, sit in the back seat and be taken to, say, if there's, like, an emergency, to go to a doctor's appointment, or go for, say, like, the grocery store, if they, like, for instance, absolutely need something, because I know they tend to grow a lot of, like, their own products, but in today's society, like, we're not in the world of agriculture. Like, agriculture is becoming very prominent, but however, like, agriculture now these days, it's not what it used to be, and so I don't know, I think there's still, I think the Amish community, it depends on, which Amish community, correct. What, even it goes down all the way to the family. But I feel like, because Shipshewana has become such a tourist attraction type of place, they've been accepting to a little bit more social media, and, like, more like media presence, people being there, knowing that people have phones, are going to take pictures, and I mean, in our videos, I make it very clear, like, we're going to be as careful as we can be, and we do ask, if you do go, like, if you are going to take a picture with,
be respectful of their wishes
and stuff. But, I was seeing, some Amish girls with cell phones, and that could purely be, like, I know growing up, like, I got my cell phone purely because if there was an emergency, I can get a hold of somebody, right? And we're just kind of in that day and age, so I'm sure that's probably what they have, because, phones are set up in a way that you can, change them and set up, where you don't use certain functions and stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it was really nice. So, we went to Shipshewana, and kind of toured the area. The horse and buggy was kind of cool. Definitely something I want to do the next time we go back.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go back. We also had lunch at the Black Sheep from Scratch Diner.
Yes.
And it was so good. Everything they made was from scratch, all farm to table. It was really nice. They do have an indoor seating area, but they also have an outdoor seating area. So we were able to, take Obi with us, and he was able to sit outside with us. And then the food was so good. Your dad had their Salisbury steak. And that was delicious. And he had Salisbury steak, scalloped potatoes, green bean casserole. It was all of it fresh made, all of it so good. And then I had, I wish I had taken a picture of the menu. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But I had a barbecue pork burger that was delicious. Had fried onion straws on it, and it was so good. They smoked their own meats. So like their both their hamburger that you had and like the pork burger that I had was fresh smoked. It did have like a nice smoke ring, a pink ring. If you're familiar with smoking meats, that like a nice pink smoke ring. Just has all the flavor. Actually, smoking burgers and smoking meats is something that we do at home a lot during the summer. So it was, it was really good. But yeah, it was, hand cut fries.
It was really good. And I mean, really part good. Of Dad's meal was the German chocolate cake.
German chocolate cake.
It was so good. And that's so homemade good. Too. I mean, they say like everything is made like that morning, and so, oh my gosh. And so it was so good that we bought a second one because we were like, we really want another. I told my mom, like, I need one for myself. Yeah. But the cool thing about, the Black Sheep Scratch Kitchen is that they have, like Mom was saying, is that they have a, back part which has both indoor and outdoor seating, but the front part is like their cafe, which was closed at the time.
Bakery.
Bakery. There we go. That usually they open during like the spring, summertime,
right,
and stuff. So, which I would love to go back during like around this time, when they open, to go check out their bakery, because I've heard from listening them to talk to other people at table is that they, they bake like a whole bunch of stuff and stuff. And so
daily,
knowing that German chocolate cake, how good it was, I can only imagine what other things taste like.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely really wanting to go back to that for sure.
So and then so that was really good. And then going through the Mercantile, just all the shops, was a lot of fun. And the Mercantile is built around, it's almost like a tree house store. So it's built around this large tree that goes all the way up, and it's when you go in, it's 4 floors because you can go down one to like a basement area,
and then it's like
two stores, and then the very top has like a little restaurant area and a carousel.
And the cool thing is they have pictures from when this Mercantile was, built. And this was built by, the Amish community. And I just want to make it clear, too, like, Shipshewana isn't, like, when you first go into it, like, and you're driving around, like, it's not, it's not just Amish people. It's also, like, just other people in the community. General community. Yeah.
Shipshewana has a population of, like, 800 people. So,
so there's pictures in the Mercantile that shows, the people who are building it, the Amish community, the other people in the community as well. So, along with, being built, by both the Amish community as well as, the community, there, they also, like, everything's operated either by Amish people, like, or the community. Like, for instance, the carousel that was up there, it was a beautiful carousel. It was really, really cool. I thought it was really fascinating that that thing was up there. But that was, if you if you saw in the back, I don't know if you saw it yourself, that it was being run by an Amish person and
Yep.
stuff. And then you also had a few Amish people there riding as well. So that was like really, really cool.
Yeah, it
So
was really cool.
I don't know, that was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I do wish, one thing to think about is that, and something I didn't think about was the fact that it is an Amish community. They are up very early in the morning, which means that, they also are returning home early in the day. So, we got there, late morning, early afternoon. I wish we'd gotten there a little bit sooner so we could have seen a little bit more. Something definitely to think about, for the future, for the next time that we go. Because, by 5 o'clock, everything was kind of, the streets were rolling up. So everything was kind of closing, and, you could kind of, on the way back, I remember seeing, like more Amish buggies on the road. You could tell they were kind of,
going back
heading home.
And,
yeah.
Well, and I mean,
So,
I was even seeing on our way back that like they were starting to do like their end day farm work,
Yeah.
So like they were wrapping things up, and
so definitely if you're going, you want to get up and get there kind of early and such. The other thing I really want to do the next time we go out there is there was a farm out there that has farm fresh milk.
Yeah.
And has the foam cream milk that so it's a little bit different than what we get here at the grocery store. So definitely want to go out and experience that and try that as well. It's cream top milk is what they call it. So definitely go out and experience that. But yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
A very interesting day, very fun day. And then the next day we went into Grand Rapids and we went to the Tanger outlets. They had a craft fair that weekend. We went on Sunday, so I think most of the booths were kind of wrapping up for the weekend and stuff. I would imagine probably their busy day was Friday, Saturday was a 3-day event. But there were still, I don't know, maybe about 10, like 15 booths out there.
Yeah.
So, but then we also, walked around the outlets, went into a few stores. There was a Lind chocolate store. I love Lind chocolates.
Yeah.
On my bucket list of travels, I want to go to Switzerland and go to the factory.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I didn't know that Lind chocolate had stores. I guess I looked it up online. There's a handful. A large handful. But yeah, in the United States. But yeah, so
it'd be cool to go to that. You said it was in Switzerland, right? I see videos of the time where they like they give people spoons and they have this like big
fountain
and they just stick their spoon in. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Yeah. But
so
it was a lot of fun.
We did that, and so we had a girls shopping day, and your dad stayed back at the hotel and just kind of got to rest and relax, and took care of Obi. So. Say hi, Obi. Want to say hi? Want to say hi to the friends, huh? Yeah. But yeah, your dad stayed at the hotel with Obi, and yeah, we just had a fun shopping day.
Yeah. It was really relaxing. I think this trip specifically was the point, is to just relax. Like it was meant to, like get out of the house. Not be stuck in cabin fever. But. I know we talk a lot about like, even those like little getaways, they, there's a story to tell, and I think that's the important thing is like when you go on these little getaways, like again, we talk about not every trip you take has to be an all-inclusive vacation. It can literally be like, I know this past weekend, these past 2 weekends were like Coachella, Stagecoach, and people are spending, oh my gosh, when I was looking at research, they were spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars and stuff on, all-inclusive vacation to go to like Coachella.
It's not always, about, all-inclusive expensive. It's just about getting away and, just taking some time to relax and reconnect.
Yeah.
So.
And stuff, and I think we had a lot of fun. So if you really liked our adventure and you want to continue to join us and you want to see more of our adventures and continue to watch out for our Travel Talk Tuesday blog post. And again, we will talk about all things travel, all of our adventures. And so look out for that. If you want to continue to follow us, like and subscribe to this video. And we look forward to see you in the next one. Bye, friends.
Bye.